Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
4.5 by 4.5 heavyweight hinge on a steel door. The screws are tight, so whatever is inside the frame is loose, and I ordered a Don Joe HR 150 hinge or frame reinforcement from you guys. Are you familiar with that?
I am.
Pardon?
I am.
Yes, okay. So I don't know what I'm doing here. It looks like this door, I see Amweld on the frame, a company that I see on your website here that you sell their products, Amweld doors.
Yeah, I'm definitely familiar with who Amweld was.
Okay. They're not around anymore?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, what am I trying to do here? I mean, obviously, I cannot get to the back side of this frame. It's a steel building. It's completely covered up, the back side. So am I trying to unscrew this hinge and fish that Don Joe fitting in there and then try and plug weld it in place or something?
That would be a way to do it. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways to do this. If I understand, you've got a door and the top hinge plate on either the door or the frame is no longer attached or weakly attached.
Yes, the door side is fine. It's the frame side that's loose internally, and like I said, I cannot get to the back side of it. It's totally sealed up with steel and whatnot, insulation. I mean, I could do some surgery, but yeah, it's loose. So obviously the top of the door hits the frame on the other side because it's hanging.
Yeah, it's not plumb.
Right.
Well, why haven't you just attempted to drill and then plug weld the existing plate back to the frame?
I don't know, because I didn't know what was in there. I stumbled on your website last week, and I saw this Don Joe heavy reinforcement, and it looks pretty rugged, and it looks pretty substantial, but I don't know what I'm getting at here.
Well,
if I cast this...
Yeah, I would try to repair the one that you have, and if not, then you've got to get it out, and that could be the trouble, because that's likely spot welded in, which means you're going to have to drill large holes to get that plate out of there to begin with. Probably larger holes than you'd want to if you were going to plug weld. That's a lot of welding. So, rather than...
Now, the thing is loose, so I would think if I cast all the screws free, the thing's going to fall down inside the frame. Is that... But maybe not.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would, because it's going to be hard to get that out. I would remove the door. I would leave the hinge attached and I'd remove the door by driving the hinge pins out, leaving half of the leaf attached to each. I would use that half of a leaf, that one leaf, as a handle to hold on to when I'm drilling and then plug welding the original plate back in place. Now, if that plate is destroyed or is completely loose and gone, you either re-weld it in or you cast it and use the new one. And then at that point, if neither of those really solve the problem, then you look at other hardware, such as a reinforcing pivot, which could work out really well, or obviously a continuous hinge. Or,
I got you.
Or half surface hinges. No, you'd have to use half mortise in your case. One leaf goes to the face of the frame, the other leaf goes to the edge of the door as normal. The reinforcing pivot's possibly the easiest way to go. Is the jam and header pumped with grout?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to want to avoid drilling into that. So repairing...
Say that one again about the grout.
Is the
I'm
jam
looking at it right now.
Pumped full of grout when you wrap your...
No, it's a steel door. the very bottom of it is in concrete blocks. The bottom 2 feet is set in concrete blocks, but the rest of it's a steel building, traditional steel building.
So there's nothing behind there. So if it was me, I would be trying to re-weld the existing plate. Now, you ordered an HR 150. Do you know that your hinges are 5-inch tall?
4.5, 4 by 4.5.
So you ordered the wrong plate. So the one that you have won't work.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
I thought it did work for a 4.5 heavy
no,
hinge.
this is a 5-inch.
Oh, bummer.
Or at least an HR 150 is a 5-inch. So I would, if there's nothing wrong with the plate other than the spot welds having failed, and they do because the contacts on the spot welder at the factory, the people that were running those machinery don't really always know when to change the electrodes. So you're not getting the proper penetration, so that weld fails eventually. So if you could repair the existing, that's the way to go. If not, you'll just want to order a reinforcing pivot, and it's something that is used quite elegantly to solve it. They're easy to install. They're about $90. They're in stock, and it's just a gizmo that slaps up to the face of the door and the header and obeys the vertical axis of pivoting of the existing 2 hinges that you'll leave there. You could probably get rid of the top hinge or let it stay there just for the ride. And at that point, you could probably just pop rivet that plate in so it doesn't fall out and leave that hinge there. So there's something there.
Yeah.
But that's what you could consider doing as well. Obviously, you're not going to pull the frame for that. What a lot of people would do nowadays they would just slap a full surface continuous hinge onto it. That's fine. I don't love how those look and never have, but whatever. There's short of you doing a full welding job on it so that plate is back how it used to be and better, in fact, it's all going to be a Band-Aid. But any of those Band-Aids will solve it.
Yeah, okay. I kind of thought if I cast these screws free, that plate that's loose would just fall inside the frame and no big deal. Let it sit there and snake in a new plate and try and drill some holes in the frame and weld it.
I'm good with that, except that you're going to use that half of the hinge leaf as the handle to hold it on. You're going to drill holes in the plate and the frame, but then you're going to put that plate in there, and you got to hold on to it with something. You got to have a handle to hold on to as you're applying 1800 degree Fahrenheit to it.
But the old plate could fall down inside the frame. I don't care about that because if it's already loose, it's already cast free. But internally,
if it's not damaged or bent or compromised, it's compatible. And I don't think the one that you ordered is. So.
Oh, okay. I swore it was. I thought I read on the Donjo thing it's for a 4.5 heavy.
Yeah,
I thought I held it up there.
I mean, what you should have been sent is an HR 150, and that would be for a 5-inch.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Well, I could always order one of those, but okay. And that called a reinforcing pivot hinge.
Yeah. So if you were to search a part number on our site, it would be B as in Bravo, 1923. B1923. Right. When you see that, you're going to immediately know what that thing's doing. As soon as you see the picture, you'll say, I get it. Part on the header, part on the door, problem solved. Yep. They're non-handed because they can be flipped around. The header portion can be moved, shifted.
Yep. All right. So the repair I had in mind is probably not the best way to go here. Trying to snake that thing inside.
I think it is the best way to go. I think you can do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. I would try that first before I bought more hardware.
Yeah. All right. Is this a common problem with these steel doors, that spot welds give way?
Oh, yeah. I've been in the hollow metal door business 30 years in my family for a very, very long time. Yes, this is a conversation I could have under the influence of anesthesia. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I'll fiddle with this. Oh, here's the plate. I couldn't find it. I thought I held this plate up here, and the whole pattern looked like it matches for this 4.5 hinge. I'm right here at the door. I thought I did this. It looks like it lines up to 150.
Well, you might have 5-inch hinges.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will. I can see some blemishes in the paint. It's a painted frame, a little round, as if it was plug welded maybe way back at the manufacturer.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
there's
could
a couple
be.
little round spots in the paint, and maybe that's where they spot welded it.
Yes, because the spot weld will deform when you've got the heat. You're penetrating too much.
Yeah.
But also, if that plate is torqued a little bit, you know, if stressed, bent, it'll deform it as well and leave that sort of mark as well.
I got you. So if that piece falls inside the frame, I could care less because I got a brand new reinforcement to go in there, correct?
It would be you and a million other people that call me and say, hey, I heard the plate fall down. You got to send me another one. So it's very typical. You could abandon it there, sure. I mean, I wouldn't want it left there, you know. But yeah, it's just another piece that's going to rust behind there.
Sure. Yeah, I got you. All right. So attempt to get it out. Got to bring, unless it's, and I mean, if that plate, like this Don Joe thing in my hand is 10 inches long. Is that whatever's in there? Is that as long? Is that a robust piece like this?
I'm tempted to say that's what is there is likely shorter by an inch or two.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So Amweld built a similar product because I saw some steel frames online, and it looked like it was just a stamped depression in the frame. It was nothing behind it. There was no reinforcing behind it. It was just a stamped area with a hole pattern in it to receive screws, the fasteners for a hinge. You know, recessed slightly. I don't know what company it was, but it didn't look very substantial.
Residential
for a heavy
frames,
steel door. Yeah,
residential frames will be, pressed like that. But not an Amweld. That's going to be 16 gauge steel that they've put into probably a CNC turret, punched all the holes in the flat, then sent it over to the press brake.
Got it. Yep.
And then welded in the reinforcements.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We'll attempt to get into this thing. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.